Good afternoon. Unexpected afternoon stream. Yes. This is a thing we're going to be doing now. Monday afternoons. Semi-regularly. But we're just going to be doing this so I can just work on some stuff that isn't relevant or important, but only good for me. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Dan Buster, Chris Bailey, Yayi360, Biggie Cheese. I'm here. Surprise Josh, Laura. Hey, how you doing? Kyle. First time viewer, long time sub. I love your vids. Oh, thank you, Kyle. That's very kind of you. Good afternoon, Flying Muttley, Fake Street Spirit, Tom Lee. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. How are we all? Kids on the PS5, dinner in the oven, and now some Warhipster. Perfect Monday. Yes. For some. Yeah. So, you know, as I talked about on Saturday's video, we've made some New Year's resolutions to be kinder to Josh. And part of that is not killing myself over deadlines. And also just doing some stuff for me. I didn't really get a chance to do a lot of that last year. And I did a little bit in December, and it was so nice to do some Hammers of Sigmar for my Hammers of Sigmar army. I really enjoyed that. So I was like, I need to do this. I need to be in love with Warhammer and hobbying. That's what I need to be, because it's my favorite thing. It's the best thing. It's so cool, and I love it. And I've never fallen out of love with Warhammer. I've never kind of thing, but I'm worried. I'm worried about myself turning this more into a job than it already is. I don't want to not be into this. One of the reasons, so to give you some little context, when I was a young warthog, I did music technology at university, and that was with the view of becoming a world famous record producer. And it was really hard to get anywhere, to make any headway in that. And I found myself at one point playing guitar to try and keep up, you know, like on SoundCloud and stuff like that. And I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. And I fell out of love with making music. For about 3 years. I didn't record anything, didn't sing very much, didn't perform, didn't do anything. I didn't like it. I fell completely out of love with making music. And I really don't want that to happen to Warhammer. A young Warhipster, did you have a beard? I did. I've had a beard since I was about 18, 19. When I was 15, I grew in some impressive sideburns. The hair came early for me. So to update you on Tomb Kings of Khemri, Tomb Kings of Khemri are they're all now fully built. All of the trays are now fully built. I've done some pretty cool stuff with the trays. I hope you'll appreciate it. It turns out with a little bit of Frankenstein and a little bit of 4D chess, one box of the movement trays can be used to make a movement tray for everything in the Tomb Kings of Khemri box, excluding the Tomb Prince and the dragon, but you don't need that because they're on their own. Yeah, I was really pleased with myself on that front. I was like, yes, I've got some moves. I also realised, and I think I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who viewed that video on Saturday and has been very, very nice and very kind and very wonderful and very lovely. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome and wonderful, and I love you. I love you very much. There's a lot of love here in Warhipster Towers right now. And there was one comment who I can't remember the name of right now, but they made a very good point about this box in that maybe it's an opportunity to do something slightly different with the content, and that's resonated with me, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a slightly different video because I went on a journey with the Tomb Kings of Khemri army set. I tried to film it and review it in the same way that I normally do with army boxes, and that does not work. It doesn't work to review Warhammer the Old World that way, because when you're reviewing a Skeleton Warriors sprue from 2002 that was designed with a very different style of Warhammer than it was back in the day, it's not the best reflection. And I think I was desperately not enjoying building this box until I realized I was building it in the wrong way. So the way modern Warhammer kits work is they all, to a certain extent, all 10 models in this Vindictors box, they look like a hero. They are, more and more often than not, more modern models are, they're all heroes to a certain extent. The detail, the posing, the accessories, the intricacies, the size, the scale, all of that makes them all feel like hero models. And so when I do my sprue reviews, like for example with the Flesh Eater Courts army set, we can look at each crypt guard and we can build each one and we can review the kit in its entirety based on its all those things I've noticed listed, all those intricacies and things. Whereas Skeleton Warriors with spears, it's the same 4 legs, it's the same 4 bodies, it's the same 4 spears, it's the same 4 shields with various different little bits of things on the facing. So it's like, if you don't enjoy building one model and you've got 40 of them to do, building it one model at a time, you're going to hate it. And I did. I hated it for the first part. And then it clicked what I was supposed to do. I'd forgotten the way you used to build those models was you built them 20 at a time. You built them a rank at a time. You built them a rank at a time so that you could figure out in what order they went in. You would number them on the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that you knew that they slotted into your movement trays in the correct format, because they were on such more smaller bases, so everything was much more cramped. These are on bigger bases, so you don't necessarily have to do that. But once I flipped how I was supposed to be building this box, it clicked and it made more sense. And that means that the sprue review video isn't a sprue review. It's a experience. It's the review of the box, of the experience of being back in this place. Because I don't think it's fair to say, based on each individual model kit, the Tomb Kings of Khemri army set is a 2 out of 10, which is how I felt as I was building it, in the same way that I built modern kits. It's still only about a 5 out of 10, because I think the Bretonnians probably would have been more fun, because it was much more kind of cleaner joints and things, whereas these are all spindly little arm socket joints, which aren't fun, because they just, you put it on and then it goes so you sit there holding this tiny little skeleton for ages, and that's fine when it's an infantryman, but when it's a skeleton horseman and you've got to attach them to the horse where there's no pin for them to go, they just have to kind of float there, or, as I've done, jam them in with one leg touching the horse's ribcage and the other one just sort of kind of off to the side, just for the sake of some stability. When you're then trying to glue the arms and the head and the thing on, everything just goes, you put it on and it all just goes. Whereas when you build a more modern model, you'll put the arm on, hold it for a second, and it just stays, right? Favorite guitar player? I have quite a few. My favoritist to listen to, because I can listen to him play for hours and hours. I've seen him live. Is Antonio Forcione. Hey, Reza. Ravens, I had the same issue. There you go. So, I learnt something new about myself. That only happened because of you guys. So I can only say thank you. Because I want that video to be wonderful. Just before we went live, I made a cheeky little start. On some skeleton warriors. Here they are. Hang on. Here are 20 skeleton warriors. And I'm gonna do like a painting video of painting the skeleton warriors, the archers, the horsemen, all in one with the chariots as well. And then give you 3 different recipes for doing bones and stuff like that. How to kind of create some unique identifiers on the infantry and this, that, and the other. Like in terms of like just adding some markings here and there on the shields and stuff, maybe stuff like that. We're going to do a whole experiential video for painting basically the entirety of the army set. It's going to be quick, it's going to be awesome, it's going to look fantastic. I'm excited to do it. However, I ran out of primer, so there are currently 16 skeleton archers, 8 horsemen, and 3 chariots left to prime. Rest of it's done. I do just need to wait for that primer to arrive. Hello, Alaric79. Philip, 90 plus models. I think I will pass. I mean, that's fair. That story reminds me of assembling B1s for Star Wars Legion. Oh, there you go. Good evening, Philip. I've already said hello to you. Soul Reaper 66. I'm just getting stressed just hearing this. Sorry, Vicious Goose. Hello, Stick Monkey. So, there we go. Housekeeping out of the way. As always, if you guys could leave a like on the stream. What basing scheme are you planning on doing? I would default to desert, but feel like there wouldn't be enough contrast between the bases and the models. So I'm actually going to be using a Geek Gaming Scenics base ready mix, which is the Mediterranean mix for them. It's again new experience for me, but it felt more classic for something like Old World rather than using texture paint, because they always used to be done with sand and flock. So I was like, I should do sand and flock. But then I went for the best one I could think of, which was Geek Gaming Scenic. So I bought some of that. I'm just not here for the Old World. Don't get me wrong. I'll buy some Tomb Kings for kit bashing material, but I think Hey Woe put it best. I'm not the target audience. I mean, that's fair. I think Old World definitely has a market, and it might not necessarily be you. It is very much for classic Warhammer fans, I think. So to answer the question, today we're going to build a little bit of some Vindictors. We're going to talk, we're going to hang out, You guys are going to like the stream and get us past 50 on the road to 69. Nice. And if you're feeling super generous, please do consider becoming a member. That would really help the channel out. But of course, you don't have to. Just hanging out with me for a couple of hours whilst I build some Vindictors is very nice. Because we're going to be building these for my Hallowed Knights. I need to buy some Retributors and some Annihilators to finish this army off. Off we go. Mr. Warhipster, I would like to really thank you for your YouTube kits. Before I know you as a newbie painter, I've always had issues with wet blending, and I saw a Scar Veteran on Agrodon, and it looked so easy, so I bought one for me, painted as you, and it's nice. I'm so glad that you're with us. Oh, thank you, Ugluck. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Will you be doing any unit fillers? Oh, I might do if I have to, new doc. At the moment, I don't have to, but if it comes up, I will. I have no old world nostalgia, so sort of all that metal nonsense isn't drawing me. That's fair, Stick Monkey. I'm already tired of the AOS versus old world discourse online. It's putting me off engaging with the hobby. Oh, I didn't realise there was Adam. That's nonsense, because there shouldn't be any old world versus AOS. They're two very distinct things, and AOS is where I get my source of joy from Warhammer these days. I love it so much. The models are my favourite. Stormcast are just my favoritist favourites. As with so many things in the AOS range. So I'm just going to build a couple of these. I'm going to talk about some challenges with Old World, because this is the thing, right? Is I think one of the challenges I have as a painter is a lot of the models that we're seeing before us, particularly with the Tomb Kings, is it's all really old product photography. And it's all been painted in a style of the time where everything is, if you look at it, it looks kind of almost cartoony. In that everything has almost been black lined, or in their case brown lined. They've been painted up from a dark primer to get to that really bright, almost white colour, using old paints that we no longer have access to. So my challenge as a YouTube painter is to, how do I modernise the Tomb Kings without kind of making them look too silly? Because using more modern paints on them could potentially make them show up their silliness in some of their more classic design elements, like the fact that they're all very 2D and very kind of boring in some ways. There's not a lot of dynamism in these models. So I'm going to be doing 3 different styles of bone for most of the infantry, just to give a really kind of more modern take on skeletons, in that we get some variation in there in the bone. So one of them is going to be some thinned down skeleton horde, roughly 2-to-1 mix of contrast medium skeleton horde. The other is going to be just using straight up new Nuln Oil over them to keep them white, and then the other one is going to be some thinned down Agrax Earthshade, maybe like a 1-to-1 type thing, and that way we'll get 3 legally distinct skeleton recipes out of our thing, and then we can alternate them throughout the unit to make a really cool ravening horde of skeletons, which is a departure from how they look on the box, but at the same time it's cool, you know. So we're going to try it. I love push fit models, honestly, I really do. These are not from the new announced Spearhead box. Those are I just saw those today. Those were Vanquishers that were in there. I really like Vanquishers. I only painted them very recently. Afternoon, Peter. Would you ever consider doing a couple more Seraphon models like a Carnosaur or a Bastardon? Yeah, Biggie Cheese. I mean, that leads us quite nicely on to what the purpose of today is. So today is, as I say, it's Monday Me Time. Monday Me Time is so that I can do stuff that I want to do that isn't necessarily relevant or particularly exciting for the YouTube algorithm and for the audience at large. But it means that I can use this time to paint things like finish off my Seraphon as a great example. I can do things like build Stormcast for a couple of hours. I can stream it or I can film it, and I can pop it on the internet for you. But it means I'm doing this for me to improve my brain a little bit. But also it means that, you know, we get to hang out more, more content gets made, and stuff that you guys ask me for, I can work on during this time. Peter, thank you very much for becoming a member. Yeah, like a Mental Health Mondays. Terrorgeist is after Tomb King's right. Yeah, exactly, Vicious Goose. That is absolutely something that we can do. What was I doing? Oh yeah, sub count. No, not that one. That one. That puts us on 541. So yeah, I mean, I want to use this time to do stuff, and it might be that we do things like paint units that I've already done before, and that we during this time paint a little bit. We won't necessarily finish it, but then I put that down, and I walk away from it having done something for me. So maybe this will always be like a streamer Glock type thing. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. YouTube keeps telling me I need to stream more anyway. So that is what we shall do. YouTube told me to. Ferret's Revenge has gifted 5 of the finest Warhipster memberships. Like an absolute hero. Thank you very much. You put us on 546. That's very kind of you, Ferret's Revenge. Thank you very much. If you're watching Ivo Ventura, Ilka Utu, Zers08, Redvic 007 and Mars, make sure you join the Discord if you haven't already. Oh, there's a bit of plastic there. I never knew that was there before. Or maybe it was always there before. I'm not sure if I have actually built a set of Vindictors since Dominion. It's been a long time. That much I know. so simple. About to go up 16 points of pre-loved admech. Can't wait. Oh, nice. Do you have a donation goal in mind that us viewers could work towards for you? Not necessarily a monetary amount, maybe a goal like a new army or camera or something like that. It's a very good question there, Cameron. Reaver Titan. Yeah, Peter, that is something we could do. Yeah, I'll have a think about that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I want to do. It's all, like I said, it's all money that takes time, right? So for example, I've bought this. I don't know if you can see it. Let me just do this a little bit. Right, so you see this arm here. This is now going to be a new bracket for me to record using the phone instead of this. It's been bought with the future proofing of being able to put a really fancy camera on it, because it's loose at the minute, but there we go, that's better. It's heavy duty enough that I can actually support a mirrorless or a DSLR or something on there. So we're going to put that on there. But the purpose of getting this means that I can put the camera way up here, then I can zoom in, and I can still film in 4K, and I can actually, because a number of people have fed back on the channel, they'd like to see videos where when we're doing tinier details we get closer up. So that is something that we're aiming towards. I need to figure out exactly what camera I want to get for that purpose, and also what the best method of capturing that footage is. Probably in the computer, and if that's the case, then I might need to bump the amount of storage I have here, and also moving it between the Windows computer and the Mac. Figure out a way of doing that quickly and efficiently. But other than that, there's lots and lots of spinning plates at the minute. Dan Cozy, Sup Gamers, and also Robert Madejski. I can't remember. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. I probably did. Thank you very much for becoming a member. And Laura, thank you very much for becoming a member. That is very, very kind of you. Vicious Goose has been a member for 7 months, like an absolute hero. We're 2 months away from expecting our membership baby together. Hello everyone, watching the stream while adding some old Tyrannid bits to my Leviathan Xenos to add hive infestation vibes, and by the Emperor, the mold lines on all the older kits are a nightmare. Yes, I've built those before, Rock Gundam, and they are not nice. Right, I need, what component, oh god, is it 46 and 49? Dan, thank you. It's very useful. Is it a silent J? Is the J like a Y? Is it Madejski? It's probably that. I'm really sorry. You'll have to tell me, so I can try and remember for future conversations. Afternoon, James. Did I get it right the second time, Robert? Again, assuming that you like Rob. That was a fun conversation I had once with a boss, where they said to me, they just started calling me Joe, and I had to say, hang on a minute, why are you calling me Joe? I was like, well, that's short for Joshua, isn't it? I was like, no. Josh is short for Joshua. I've never been called Joe in my life. I mean, it doesn't bother me. I'm just curious. I just wanted to make sure you know what my name was. And they're like, oh yeah. Yeah, I guess. So it's so weird. I also had somebody who misheard my name the first time, and to this day I am still Joss to them, and I haven't the heart. I haven't the heart to correct anyone. But I generally, like, with names, if someone introduces themselves to me in a certain way, I'll always refer to them that way. Or if someone talks about somebody else as like, oh, do you know this person, Rebecca? I'll be like, oh, no, I don't know Rebecca. So they'll always be Rebecca until that person in particular tells me actually it's Becky or Bex or Beck, you know, or something like that. Which has landed me in the past because people are like, why'd you full name me all the time? I was like, because it's what you want. Hi, where is the Tomb King? There is a Tomb King right here. There's some Tomb Kings there. Sup, Dingus? I've been shame building all my units over the time I've been unwell. My only gripe is that I cannot prime in 8-8 weather. Oh man. I did some priming today. I primed 40 skeletons, 16 archers, 8 horses, the bone dragon, and the Tomb King. All that's left is 8 horses, 16 archers, and 3 chariots. Thoughts from the collective. DA librarians, green or cloth / cream robes. Hello? Thought I heard a name. I heard a voice. Odd. So let me try to. So DA librarians, I would probably go for cloth robes, like cream cloth, because I think Dark Angels librarians anyway, their armor is still blue. Like most of the librarians. That would be probably how I would do that. Hello, Katara. Oh, bro, you're capturing my heart making Stormcast right there. Literally making my way model by model through some Vigilors currently. I do really like the Vigilors. I think they're sick. There's one Vindictor. Our Azurite signifier. And then this one is the alternate build of that one. So this one is the next one that we build. Do you see what I mean about these? In that there's each one in its own right, unlike with that pile of skeletons, is like a hero cast, like a hero sculpt. So I can build these one model at a time because they all have unique components. Like there's all numbering and stuff. Whereas, like I said, when I was building the skeleton warriors, I built them one at a time, and that was awful. And you know, what you're supposed to do, and this is the reason why I came to this conclusion as I was going along, right, was you glue your 20 set, you clip out your 20 sets of legs, you clean up your 20 sets of legs, you add those 20 sets of legs to the bases, and then you start on your 20 torsos. And you do it in that way because it gives all of it time to dry, so that by the time you're ready to move on to the next component, you should have rock solid bonds with your glue. So it's just much easier that way. So that's what I ended up doing. It became a much more pleasurable experience building. I went from struggling through, so I did 20 skeletons on day 1, and I did the bone dragon first, and that was as a modern kit go, that was an experience, let me tell you. I did the bone dragon first, and that took me hours. So that bit I can review in context of the newer models. So that is how that will go into the video when it comes out, which I'm hoping will be Saturday, because I'm hoping this week to make lots of progress painting. Hopefully get the whole set done this week, but that seems unlikely given the time scales. Involved and the amount of models. But we will see. You go in there, don't you? Yes. Oh, you did come home, Alice. I thought I heard you, and then I was concerned. Best and worst chocolate from a box of celebrations, in your opinion, Mr. Warhipster. Also, hello, Al. Welcome home. Did you have a nice day? You drop in there, like so. Lovely. It's not snowing, is it? It wasn't earlier. Best and worst chocolate from a box of celebrations. What's in the celebrations? I can't remember off the top of my head. Is that the one with the Mars bars? Milky Ways? Snickers? Maltesers? Galaxy? Is that in there? Someone tell me what's in the celebrations box. The next one is on Wednesday, Eric. Theoretically. If Reza would tell me if he's up for the stream. And also if Adam doesn't get trapped in central London again. I love this. Just big armored dudes with spears. It just doesn't get better than that, does it? $25 and $26. 26. So what I might do next week is use this time to actually paint some of these. Maybe one or two of them. Get them started. If we get enough of them built. These are going to be Hallowed Knights Vindictors. Got the Celestial Vindicators to do as well, though, so they also need to be primed. Mini Painting Dad has been a member for 5 months. That is very, very kind of you, Mini Painting Dad. Thank you so much. Your support. Honestly, you guys. The support with the memberships and the super chats and things like that is honestly, it really is the difference between between this being a success and being a complete failure. And honestly, like, it really does. It means the world. So thank you. Rez has been a member for 26 months. That's not true, Rez. You have painted one thing. You painted Grandmaster Boulders. You guys have also smashed 71 likes. So thank you. Can we smash through to 100? Snickers, Mars, Twix, Bounty, Galaxy, Maltesers, Milky Way, Galaxy Caramel. See, I love all of those apart from Bounties. I love Milky Ways. Because Milky Ways are a nice light chocolate to have. You can eat like a ton of Milky Ways. It doesn't feel like you've eaten a ton of Milky Ways. Mars bars I really like. Galaxy I'm also a big fan of. We got a huge thing of Galaxy because it was on offer in co-op, so I'll be tucking into that, I'm sure, in no time at all, unless Alice gets there first. Have you got the Felgor Ravagers Kill Team set? I think I do somewhere, Nutshell. I think so. I have to go now and pick up my birthday cake for tomorrow as my wife hasn't had time to sort it. Catch you on Tell 'em Many Warhipsters 2 on Wednesday. Do you know what it is? It's not that I dislike bounties. It's I don't really like the taste of coconut. Not really. It's something about the texture of it in a bounty that I don't really like. Doesn't really vibe with me. What's your Stormcast list, Warhipster? You play a lot with them. No, I haven't, sadly. And I really wish I had played more with them in recent times because they're my favourites. I have 3 lists. Would you like to hear all of them? So, well, I technically have 4, but one of them isn't like a real priority for me because I'm just kind of, I don't know if it's going to exist in the next edition. So, the first one is my Hammers of Sigmar list. Now, my Hammers of Sigmar list is Bastion Carthalos with a Knight Draconis and Aventis Firestrike as the leaders. Then we have Stormdrake Guard, obviously, in a form of 2. And we have 2 units of Vindictors, 1 of Vanquishers, and that's my battle line sorted. We then have a solo Stormdrake Guard because we can, because there's the Knight Draconis, and then that lets you have 1 on its own. A Stormstrike Chariot, a unit of Vigilors. I think that's it for the hammers for now, depending on what the next edition brings. For my Celestial Vindicators, there's the Contents of Dominion. So 5 Vindicators, the Lord Imperatant, the Knight Judicator, no, not Knight Judicator, the Knight Arcanum, the Knight Vexilor, yes, 5 Vindictors, 3 Praetors, 3 Annihilators. And then for that army, we're going to be adding 5 Vanquishers. We're going to be adding 10 Sequitors, 10 Evocators, a Celestar Ballista, a Lord Exorcist, and a Lord Arcanum on Griff Charger, because Cameron wants to see how to paint one. I think that's the whole thing. I'm probably missing some as we go along. Then my Hallowed Knights, what we have is we have Guard of Steel Soul, of course. We have a Lord Castellan, which is supposed to be Loris Grimm, rip. We have 10 Vindictors, which is what I'm building here. 10 Judicators, which I've already done. We're going to be adding a unit of Annihilators, a unit of Quest Soulsworn, a unit of Retributors, and I think a unit of Vigilors. Oh, and there's the Knight Judicator as well. He's in there as well. Did you think a Charybdis will be a nice substitute for the Chariot? What do you mean, buddy? I know it was technically me, Rez, but why would that stop you from claiming you did it like it did? Was it a tournament? Was it Fun and Fluff that we went to? Good evening, Mark. So yeah, it will give me 3 storm hosts of Stormcast Eternals with slightly different play styles in each. And it will make me very happy to have those 3. And if we can add, when AOS 4 is on its way, if there's new Stormcast in that, which there certainly will be. After all, there are 2 things certain in life: that the core boxes will contain Stormcast, and the 40k core boxes will contain Space Marines. I don't know which of the storm hosts the AOS 4 stuff will go into. That will be the choice of all of you at home. Maybe we'll even start another one. If everybody's like... We're just super into Tempest Lords right now, Josh. Tempest Lords are clearly the GOAT. But wow, I just didn't know you guys were so into Tempest Lords, but alright. Tempest Lords it is. Doesn't feel like that's gone together properly, but... Yeah, no, it has. Currently following your Demonettes tutorial, absolutely loving painting them, as I've always been a bit intimidated by the skin, so just wanted to thank you. You're very welcome, Mark. I love the Hallowed Knights too. I love them so much. Who shall be victorious? Only the faithful. If I was like a super famous YouTuber person, what I would want to do is turn up to like a football stadium or something and just be like, can we just get everybody to do this thing for me so I can capture one soundbite? I want to go and stand on centre field and just go, who shall be victorious? And have thousands of people shout, only the faithful. I think it might make me cry. Oh, this playlist always does this. Hallowed Knights are sick, man. They're the best. I would also like to do Knights Excelsior, but they would be a real like passion project type thing, because it's all that kind of super off-white bony scheme, which is just slightly difficult to pull off en masse, as it were. Because I like the Knights Excelsior because of how mostly evil they are. They're the ones you don't want to live in the same city as. Wonder what Sigmar had for his breakfast today. Are you questioning Sigmar? No, I was just wondering what he had for his breakfast today. Too late. We're going to murder everyone. Oh. That seems like a strong reaction there, Knights Excelsior. Well, you never can be too careful, you know. That sounded like chaos to me. 20 and 21. This is what I love about push fit models, is you just go for it. I know they're not for everybody, because a lot of people like to be able to do lots and lots and lots of super customization to their models, but I don't think that that's not possible with these. It's just you have to do a little bit more work, I think, for some where like the arm or whatever is baked into the push fit. But with this lot, like, they're mostly just bodies and then their arms go in. So there is a lot of customization available here for the Vindictors, if you want to work for it, as it were. But for me, they're just like, I can put them together in no time at all. And it gets me one step closer to being, you know, having more finished armies. Which is why I kind of regret putting Retributors into this army list. But originally they were going to be Liberators instead of Vindictors, because I want the list to be kind of more of a classic Storm host, hence the Judicators. That's why we did Retributors. Lunch break almost over here in Canada. Gotta go soon and brave the cold and go outside the office. Good luck, Eric. Does Sigmar like bounties? Probably. You know. He'd prefer them to be storm bounties, though, I'm sure. Do you only paint Games Workshop products, or do you paint other things as well? My plan this year is to do more other stuff, Andrew. I've got the old, what's it called? Shatterpoint stuff to do. And I'd like to do some Napoleonic historicals. Is it Wednesday and no one told me? No, Edward, you're all good. This is a new series. This is Monday me time. So that's 3 done. So now we build our prime. Should we go for Lady Prime or Gentleman Prime? Bearing in mind this is 2 units of 5, so we will have both. Naturally. Which one should I do first? Hey, Edward. We've got 89 likes. You guys are all awesome. Can we get 11 more? It's your time. You should pick. I know, Ray. That's the uncontrollable need to satisfy people. Actually, do you want to know something that's quite funny? I've just noticed it sat on my side. My Tomb Kings of Khemri box came with Warhammer, the Horus Heresy Age of Darkness dice pack. So that's fun. I'd suggest the Inniskilling 27th Regiment of Foot. There you go. It's a great suggestion. Yeah, no, I just want to. I want to do some. I just want to do some slightly different things this year. Like I said, this year is more focused on. I'm gonna be trying to be more focused on being more for putting. When I say more for me, like put more of me into it. And just be a little bit more kinder to Josh. $30. 29. Yep, and 33. Where are you? You over here? Yes. I'm way ahead of you there, Ray. We're doing Lady Prime. Who knows? Maybe even this year, I might make some more music. I was thinking about that as I was talking about that earlier. Just been sort of mulling that over in my head. Maybe this is the year to. I don't know. Maybe just put together another EP or something. That can be how I raise money for the channel. Selling the collected musical works of Warhipster. That would be fun. Hey, Stoogie. You got the Epic Battles Waterloo box from Warlords. Did one unit and has sat in his box since. Yeah. So that's what I worry about with, doing stuff out my wheelhouse usually. One is that no one else will do it with me, but also that it's either prohibitive in terms of it being for more accomplished hobbyists, unlike the much more beginner friendly things like AOS and 40k are, and that I end up just not doing anything with them, because I might be a very decent painter, but when it comes to like building and stuff, I am very sausage fingered. And when it starts getting into the realms of having to do loads of different stuff to things to get it ready, I'm just like, I don't like this. A Jeff Wayne AOS lore based double album would be cool. What, so instead of War of the Worlds, we do War of the Realms? The chances of anything coming from his ear are 1,000,000 to 1, they said. Ogilvy the astronomer assured me nothing would come through the realm gate. Ooh, la. This would actually be sick. Do you have music already out there, or is it secrets? It's not secrets. Let me see if I can find some. I'll play you some. Whoa. Hold on. Well, this is epidemic sound. Go away. I have to find it, is the problem. Okay. I'm not sure if it's going to be cross if I play any of this. It might, I guess.
Tactile sensations through a myriad of emotions and spiritual connections. Will I feel your effervescence, your incandescent essence right here? Sing to me, my firefly of sweet and better things. Speak to me your secrets in the safety of our den. Dance with me to all the songs we sing inside our heads. Watch with me our story unfold on a private silver screen, you and me. And I'm holding on to your crystal eyes, my darling. And I'm holding on to your immortal lines, my darling. by the seas and the stars. Present beats in time to the rhythm of my heart. Darling, I'll forever hold you twixt light and dark, between sunlight and starlight, with dragon fire and song. Across the skies and oceans blue is where I'll keep my enduring love, evergreen, ever pure, and always for you. And I'm holding on to your crystal eyes, my darling. And I'm holding on to your immortal lines, my darling. I can feel your immensity on my home, even when you're not here. I don't feel so alone.
There you go. I don't know if you you're able to hear much of that, but apparently this one goes on like this. Yeah, that was me, Kurt. It's 100% me. And I'm not telling you any lies. Is it weird listening back to it? No, not really. I mean, we want more. I'm not sure how much I've got that's actually decently out there, as it were. That's the only one I know that is that I like. I'm super happy with. Yeah, that's me singing. That's me playing the guitar, the drums, the bass, singing, and doing all the backing vocals as well. There might be one more I can find. Hang on. If you really want more. From when I went through a slightly more experimental phase. Unless I go for something like, let me look up that. Yes. 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 For God's sake. Why are you being annoying? Do do do. I'm in deep good girl cause she's out of her mind. Whoa. Mini painting dad, thank you very much for the 10. That is very, very, very kind. Thank you for your 10. You're very welcome. You can have my content anytime. Oh, yeah. Right. Here comes the death metal. It's out there somewhere. The only other one I can find is this one. Oh. No, not that. File. I have to authorize. It's the most riveting content on the internet. Okay.
Now I'm not saying I'm a teacher, but there's a lesson here I think you need. And I'm not saying I'm a nice guy, I'm just set in last place one more time. And I'm not thinking about yesterday's, tomorrow is today, it's already here. And I'll start with a t-shirt and hold my decisions, then get you hurt. No. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's midnight where the time is standstill. Do I read my text now or leave it till tomorrow? Well, she's killing me with all her secrecy, endlessly telling me to worry about you and me. I'll sleep in a while, I'm sure, but I'm stuck wide awake with only these four walls. Cause you know I put my life in boxes, or leaving here tomorrow cause my memory's kinda toxic. I can't stop the thinking that it's what I'm missing. From the way I start my day, my bed is an admission. But all I hear is the echo of your footsteps and the door slam as she says, you don't want to know where I slept last night or where I plan to go. I just know that I hate this place and I can't take the look that is slapped across your face. But there's a lesson here I think you need, and I'm not saying I'm a nice guy. Just said in last place one more time, and I'm not thinking about yesterday's. Tomorrow is today, it's already here, and I'll start with a t-shirt and hold my decision to get you hurt. No. I woke up to a text that says, thanks for all the memories, but this is where it ends. You're too apathetic, my broken heart can take it. Please don't walk away from me, I knew I should have sent this. This love is a one-time thing, like a comet in a lifetime. It won't come around again, so please give me just a little more time. And I swear on my life that I could change your mind. I can't stop thinking maybe I'm too late to stop what I think is a fucking big mistake. But all I see in the short term is my pain. I don't want to listen to you say you don't want to know where I slept last night or where I plan to go. I just know that I hate this place and I can't take the look that is slapped across your face. But there's a lesson here I think you need, and I'm not saying I'm a nice guy. Just sat in last place one more time, and I'm not thinking about yesterday's. Tomorrow is today, it's already here, and I'll start with a t-shirt and hold my decision to get you hurt. No.
There you go. Where can we find your music? Just take my money now. I'd have to put together something and put it in a place that's easy to find. Probably write some new things, re-record some new things. The thing is, like, I'd love to find the time to do that this year. This isn't me, by the way. This is back to the playlist. This is back to your usual standard stock music. Because I'm not sure if if Google's going to go, hold on a minute, you're playing music from this person. Yeah, that's me. Too late. Copyright strike. It's also incredibly embarrassing. I mean, I love the things that I've made in the past, and I love listening to them and reminding myself of who I used to be. But I haven't written anything new for a while, and that's a bit sad. And really, I ought to. I can try and find some more in a second. But you might already be bored of listening to that, so. Like I said, when I was younger, it was my firm belief I would be a professional musician, and that never happened. Mostly because this sounds like I'm bashing on myself, but trust me, I'm realistic enough to know that I was never going to be good enough to really make it. You see, and that's again, that's not like me saying that I'm not okay at it. That's just being realistic. I knew exactly what I'm capable of with music. And maybe somewhere in me is a hit album somewhere, but it takes a lot of work to even get one or two done. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. If you did. If you didn't enjoy it, I understand. Do you know, Kurt? My family's from Malta. I am Maltese. Because of the size of the place, you probably know at least one of them. Oh, I did tell you already. Lugubrious Crumhorn has just gifted 20 of the finest Warhipster memberships. Like an absolute hero. Like a lovely, lovely boss. That is very kind of you. Thank you, Lugubrious Crumhorn. The music industry is unbelievably brutal. My brother was in the music industry for several years. He left it an alcoholic. Yeah, it's rough, man. It's just it's just so hard to, I think, to keep your keep that kind of piece of your soul, as it were. Especially in the face of what is a dwindling industry from where it used to be. I mean, like when I was studying, they were talking about how sites like Spotify were already changing the game. Like how I came into it sort of just after. So like when I was studying at music, my degree. The whole Napster thing and downloading illegal music and all that kind of thing, that was almost at the end, really, before sort of streaming had taken over. So they were talking about how something called a 360 deals were becoming the main thing for artists and record labels, in that they would, rather than sort of signing you to make albums and this, that and the other, that actually live appearances and merchandise would also be included under the record agreement. It's mostly for like more established bands these days. For like your household names and things, they're the ones that they almost get 100% of the events, like the gigs and the t-shirt sales and stuff. That's them, that money goes to them. Whereas when you buy an album, or you stream an album, or download an album with by paying for it, that money's mostly record label, right? Yeah, exactly, Simeon. But thank you very much, Lugubrious Crumhorn, for the 20 gifted. That is very, 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 very kind of you. That is 28 new members today. That's awesome. And we've gone past 100 likes. We're on 113 likes. And we've built an entire unit of Vindictors. And you've listened to some of my old music. So, swings and roundabouts, eh? One. We need to just fill in the gaps in the bases. 1, 2. Nope. Sorry. 3. 4. You did tell me, Peter. That's exactly right, Simeon. People like the Backstreet Boys were not making money. They were basically being paid so the way it used to work essentially is that you would have a deal with the record label. The record label would be responsible for essentially funding the creation of the album or EP or whatever. So they would give you an advance, and that's for studio time and whatnot. Much like when you're writing a book, if you're a novelist or something like that. You get an advance to make the album. They would then be responsible for distribution. So basically like creating the CDs, manufacturing the CDs, distributing it, marketing it around the world, getting it on radio and stuff like that. And your job was to make music, and then you would probably go out on tour to promote the record even more. But the tour would be essentially organised. Maybe the record label would have a hand in that, but you would get most of the performance fee, where you get all of the performance fee pretty much. And the record label would take a percentage if that was part of the deal, and then merch as well. If they could help you, or you could do that yourself. Most people did it themselves, and sell t-shirts and stuff. So like more and more towards when I was thinking about trying to make a dent, trying to join the music industry, the thing to do was to make your own t-shirts, go out gigging and sell your t-shirts, and you might get paid 50 quid by a pub to perform if you're lucky. Then most of the time you'd be performing for exposure, because you're a nobody at that point. So you play at the pub, you maybe get paid that, but if you sold even say 5 t-shirts at 20 quid each, that's how you made your money. And if you sold a CD or 2 as well, things like that. I'm building some Vindictors from the Stormcast Eternals. It's these guys. They're amongst some of my favourite models of all times. This is my new Stormcast, I hope like you. Are you doing Stormcast, are you, Jorge? George? Back in my day. Exactly. I wonder if there's any more from me. I do have more. If you want to hear another song, press 1 in the chat. If you don't, press 2. I completely agree, Marley. They which Storm Hills are these going into? They're going into Hallowed Nights. These 5. The other 5 will as well. Oh, lots of ones. Okay. Okay, we'll do one more. I found one more. I shall answer your question in a minute, Simeon. Let me think about it. Actually, I'll answer your question right now. I would start by getting just a couple of technical paints in a way. So you don't have to, but contrast painting works better if you do it over a bright color. So like white or grey seer or wraithbone. It can work over Mechanica standard grey, and you want neutral colors, and it doesn't really matter on the tone. It will affect the final outcome of what paint, what the color will look like. So if you put, for example, Blood Angels red over Mechanica standard grey, you get a very dark red, which can be very pleasing. If you want it to look more red, like Blood Angels red does in the pot, you want to do it over grey seer or wraithbone, or indeed over white. So if you've got a good pale color like grey seer, wraithbone, or white, or Corax white, or even a white scar or something like that, even if it comes from Vallejo, like the Vallejo white model color white is pretty good. I really like that. I've tried it. I think it's awesome. Either way, you want one of those first. Then a really good way to get started is to pick up maybe a brown for doing leather. So when you're painting your models, you could base coat your leather bits in the white or grey seer or wraithbone, and then you could try a brown. So one of Wildwood, Cygor brown, or Garagak sewer. Those are 3 good browns. Snakebite leather is also good, but it's a different kind of brown. It's more of a yellowy brown. Gorgonta fur, again, similarly, very nice brown, but has more of a red in it. So I would recommend picking up one of those previous 3. Wildwood is my favourite, but I really like Cygor brown because it's a really dark brown. Another really good colour is Skeleton Horde. It's a great colour to start contrast painting with if you're doing things like parchment or bone, or things like Deathwing. You can use Skeleton Horde for if you thin it down a little bit. Skeleton Horde is an excellent paint. Black Legion is one of the best paints ever. It's just perfect for getting black details done really quickly. Regardless of what colour you put on, Black Legion will probably cover it. That's a really good set of colours. I really like the reds. what I would recommend is picking a kind of more colourful colour that you want to try out on some models. So say you want to do some Imperial Fists, then pick a yellow and pick up some Imperial Fist yellow and some Cassandora yellow or something to shade it down, because Imperial Fist yellow is a one coat paint solution. Baal red is the same, it's a one coat paint, but doesn't do that contrast thing, so you need to shade it. Blood Angels red is a really nice paint. Flesh Terrors red is a nice paint, although a little bit darker, a little bit trickier. The purples, they're really good. I think between those things, there's a number of things you could try that are very, very cool. Yeah, I mean, like, just as long as you get like maybe one of the flesh colors too, yeah, something like Gilliman Flesh, really good. Fyreslayer Flesh is also very good, as is Dark Oath Flesh. They all have slightly different tones. Gilliman Flesh is probably the one you can use the most, and also doubles up as like a really strong shade for like gold and stuff. So there's lots and lots of stuff you can do. Blues wise, there's loads of great blues. Purples, yeah, there's really, really good. Is it reasonable to mix contrast paints, or do they kind of blend more than mix? You know, you can mix them. You absolutely can mix them. I do it all the time. If you look at my Death Guard video, for example, there's a mix in there that's bonkers, but really, really effective. And I just want to say, Daniel Talpas has said, your videos have inspired me and taught me far more than this meager $10 is worth. Thanks to you, I have a great looking Scarbrand and some sexy Seraphon. Cheers to my favourite painter on YouTube. Thank you, Daniel. That is very kind of you. $10 is a massive, so thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate that. Literally any amount is more than I deserve. Right, I'm going to play you another one of my songs, and this is the last one.
There's an oak tree by the main road where I loved you carelessly. Carved our names out in a heart. Haven't gone back recently. Concrete's catching up with younger days, and I'm still singing songs about a girl I met when I first stepped into this brave new world of growing up and falling in love. Getting older but not wiser, try my hardest to forget her. Honey, please come home, I left the lights on here to guide you. And honey, please don't say that my voice doesn't remind you of summer days spent by the oak tree, winter evenings sleeping quietly, just a pair of lost lovers finding peace in each other's dreams. There's a beauty all alone, waiting for the spring to come. For the next time, won't wait for blossoms. My next love is evergreen, 'cause autumn's here to stay around a while, and time is moving on. Until a girl I meet when I first seek to see a brave new world of growing up and falling in love. Getting older, getting wiser, try my best and be there for her. Honey, please come home, I left the lights on here to guide you. And honey, please don't say that my voice doesn't remind you of summer days spent by the oak tree, winter evenings sleeping quietly, just a pair of lost lovers finding peace in each other's dreams. Well, I woke up and dreams start to fade, the bulb has gone. You I can't replace. Now fix the lighting, but tomorrow comes. I should really go to sleep, not leave the light on. But honey, please come home and let the lights on here to guide you. And honey, please don't say that my voice doesn't remind you of summer days spent by the oak tree, winter evenings sleeping quietly, just a pair of lost lovers finding peace in each other's dreams. There's an oak tree by the main road where I loved you carelessly, carved our names out in a heart, and haven't gone back recently.
There you go. It's because I'm like I love to share my music with people, and at the same time I feel it's so embarrassing. It's like the two things at the same time. I love to just sit and play, and I love to just sing. I love doing those things. But at the same time, like, a lot of this stuff is I make it for me, and then it rarely ever goes anywhere. I rarely post it or anything like that. And maybe I should, but I just generally don't tend to. Is the video audio a little bit low? It was you. Cameron, thank you very much for the 10. Putting some in the jukebox. That's very kind of you. And Javi Mas, thank you very much for becoming a member. And then Lugubrious Crumhorn has gone ahead and just gifted another 20, like a absolute boss. So that puts us on 8-9, I think. Do you like it, Stoogie? Deserves a few more members. Oh, that's very kind of you. Not my personal taste, but not bad. Well, there you go. See, it's not for everyone. If you're lucky, one day I'll dig out my pop punk era, where I was a backing vocalist in the band. And I was the bass player. That one I'm almost certain will get me a copyright. Dodging? What am I dodging? What am I dodging, Simeon? Did I miss something? Do you know what I keep doing with these Vindictors? I've done this twice now, because I built. This is right. I did 10 for the Hammers of Sigmar, and I did 10 for. I did the 10 in Dominion, and I only ever built one Azerite. I don't know what I did, Simeon. I listen to animal noises. The Mini Creative has been a member for 4 months. Thank you very much, buddy. That is very kind of you. You guys are being really nice today. I appreciate it. Thank you. That way? No. What? That way. Oh, yeah. That was very confusing for a minute there. I always wanted to be in like a metalcore band. I really wanted to, but I don't have the talent for it. Like my guitar playing just isn't up to. I don't have the skill on the guitar to write for it. I can play it, so like I did once do a little session with some friends of mine where we just jammed some songs that we really liked. So the things like Rose of Sharon from Killswitch Engage and stuff like that. I can play it, I just can't write it. I'm just not good enough. Recently bought the Ultimate Starter Set for my partner, and I do have a joint hobby. Mine are all completely assembled and half primed. I have a feeling I'll be building the other half too. You might find, Simeon, sometimes you have to get it built and primed, and then your other half might be like, oh yeah, no, I'll do the painting. Because the building and the priming bits can be really boring. Just wrote a metalcore-ish song about Space Wolves. Wish I could share with you all. That sounds epic. When you can share it, you should. I'd love to hear that. Truly, I would. I spent the entire of yesterday clipping, model lining, and press fitting the entire Tyrannid side of the set. Psychophage and all. Fingertips felt it today. Yeah, no. So I realized doing push fit models after spending the most of the day priming has not been a good idea for my wrist. But it is what it is. There's nothing I can do. Is your music on Bandcamp or anything? Some of it is around. On SoundCloud. It's really hard to find, though. I can only find it by logging in. Because I'm not even close to being anywhere near sort of. I think my SoundCloud has like 10 followers. Yeah, 22. It was also at one point used for a podcast. If I do that. I used to play bass for a couple of bands way back. Did some session work for a studio back when I lived in London around 95, 96. Don't get the time to play anymore though. Well, that's a shame. Why not promote your music via your videos as background music / intros and such, splash screen at the end or some such? Yeah, no, I've thought about doing that in the past. What I would like to do is this is the thing, I would like to buy a lot of gear and like MIDI controllers and things like that, and I would love to write like a 20-30 track album that I can use for my intros and my background music. And just be like, I did all of this, and then we can, you know, make some more this, that, and the other, and do a bunch of different stuff. I'd love to do that, but it's time and it's money, of which I have little of either. So it is something I've thought about in the past. I have some stuff that could be background music without me singing on it, which could probably, I think some of my very early videos I used some of it, yeah, it's one of those things. How about you play the guitar live while painting your minis in the videos? That would be entertaining to watch. Yeah, I have 4 hands now. The old push fit models always kill me. Sometimes they are really no fun to press together. Oh yeah, stuff like from Soul Wars. Or even like, I think the Indomitus ones were pretty hardcore as well. Following your Living Cities vid, they're looking great. Thanks. Awesome, Edward. I love to hear that. What time are we on? We're on 6:30. Here we go for 2 hours. We've got 125 likes on the stream. Guys, I love this so much. I love you guys so much. You're so good. You're so wonderful. It's funny when I think back to when I first started streaming, and it's just remarkable to see and feel the change from where we were. This time last year alone. We have a concurrent viewer base now of around about 90 to 100, which is unbelievable. The streams are getting like 100 likes whilst we're going. That's fantastic. You guys are becoming members and all that kind of thing. It's just like, it's bonkers, man. I'm just me, you know. That's what I always. I'm so bad at like. I'm so bad at believing in myself. Honestly, it's terrible. So there's two things they say you need to have for YouTube. One is a thick skin, and the other is like, you know, that belief, that self belief. And I think I've got a pretty thick skin. I get some pretty horrible comments, and I laugh a lot of them off. Sometimes they get under me, but you know, I generally just rise above, as it were. But you know, like, it's the point where I then have to go place worth on myself, where I then go, oh no. And there's no number in the world that will ever tell me that I'm wrong. And so that's going to have to be a New Year's resolution for next year, because being kind to me is that's the harder one. That's the mountain we have to climb this year. I have to, by the end of the year, be like, I love you, man. You're good people. Have you ever been to Warhammer World in Nottingham? I went early December. It was amazing. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I like to try and get there a couple of times. I might try and get there for the 20th. in 12 days' time. It's not looking likely because of how much I've got to do. But I'd like to go a couple more times this year. I didn't go as many last year as I would have liked to. On the 20th, there's the Warhammer The Old World Open Day at Warhammer World. It's not ticketed, I don't think. You can just waltz in. Italian Spartacus. This man's positivity, knowledge, and humility are toxic. Nobody listen to him. Oh. Thank you, buddy. And also thank you for the 10. That is exceedingly kind of you. Thank you, buddy. Realise this month's Tales is battle line, but I've just submitted some outriders. Yeah, that's all good, Cameron. I'm sure we can find a way to make them battle line. Durgo says, "Oh my god, Italian Spartacus!" Right? That is the reaction you should have to Italian Spartacus being here. Everybody should have hearts in the chat for my bro in the States. He's a wonderful man. He's a wonderful creator as well. Absolutely fantastic creator. He's really kind, really supportive, very lovely, very funny, and just an all-round great dude. So you should all absolutely go and follow him right now if you haven't already. If you like me, then you'll definitely like him. I think we'll build one more and then we'll probably call it there because I'll have to go and actually, do I do one more? That is 6. Do you know what? I will put the plug in. I'll do this one. We'll get it finished. We've got 2 signifiers. This is the only downside to these being all push fit, is that you do unfortunately get ones that look the same. But that's not the end of the world, really. I could have put the bear head on there. That would have mitigated for that a little bit. But there we go. Bosh. My brother freaked out at the gift this year. Absolutely loved the models. Thanks again, man. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. What is that roll of thingy with the black handle? This is a knife. It's the Citadel modelling knife. Stopping is for the weak. I like this knife. A lot of people tell me I'm wrong for liking it, but I like it. You use the roller thing there to just loosen the grip on the blade, and it just slots out. And you put the new blade in there. The reason I like this knife is because it's much more comfortable for me to use when I'm like, look, there are cheaper versions. Absolutely there are. The reason I like this one is because I can get really close with it like that. And it's comfortable on my thumb there, rather than pressing on the blade. That's why I like it. You've emailed me a link to the Space Wolf song. Oh, I will enjoy this, Daniel. I will enjoy this. I'm going to go and look for it now. Oh yeah, there you go. You sent me those links. Oh, I'm into it. What's the word? Ergonomic. Yeah. Ever use Element games, Josh? Yeah, I used to use Element all the time. I think they're really good. They're a really nice company. They get stuff out to you nice and promptly. But I'm affiliated with Firestorm Games. Firestorm Games asked me if I wanted to be an affiliate, so I sort of said yes. How's your day been? My day's been quite nice, Lehman Russ. I primed most of the Tomb Kings of Khemri, and I ran out of primer, which was sucked. And then I've been taking some time for myself to build some Vindictors. We've done 6 of them. You're off to work. Are you about to stream? Are you streaming on YouTube? Because I'll raid you if you want, Italian Spartacus. Because I'm gonna wrap up in about 5 minutes. How's your day been, Lehman Russ? Is a violent person, really? Am I? What? Oh, my wrist. Ah, you're making a video. Oh, you had a bad experience with Element. Oh no. Hey, Guile, bro. What happened, Chewie? Had a great day making custom breaches for World Eaters. Oh, that's sick. Oh, I'm into that. I felt very proud of myself for making a custom movement tray for Old World out of the offcuts from the movement trays box. I'm not sure if I've got it up here. I thought, how many Stormcast you're making? So there will be 10 Vindictors. In fact, I'm going to look up to see if there are any Retributors in stock. Because they've been out of stock for ages. I don't know, they are in stock. Well, Is there a way to make Ripper Swarms less goofy, or is that just the charm of them? I wonder if it's all about the basing with those. Yeah, I mean, they are just a little bit goofy. There used to be some really cool Forge World ones, which were excellent. I don't know if they still make them. Probably not. Let me look it up. Forge World Ripper Swarm. No. Doesn't look like it. Actually, if I just look it up on the store, it's all the same place now. No, they don't make them anymore, which is a shame. You can always look on eBay or whatever to see if there's ones there that are more appropriate. The old, like I said, the Forge World ones were much nicer because they actually looked like a swarm rather than four dudes on a base, which is a shame. But they are just a little bit goofy. It's kind of like, you know, Watchers in the Dark and stuff like that. They are always just a little bit silly. Ordered a limited run item, but the order was held up by another item that wasn't in stock. By the time the other item came into stock, they'd sold out the limited item which I'd already paid for. I assumed having paid the money, they'd have held on to it until the order could be fulfilled, but I guess not. Oh, that really sucks, Chewie. That really, really, really sucks. I'm sorry, man. What was the limited item? Out of interest. Have you done How to Paint World Eaters? I have. I've done... Yeah, I can go and find it for you now, bud. Let me go and get that for you. So obviously we've done the new World Eaters in red, but I'm assuming if you're doing Breaches, you want the classic World Eaters. Do tell me if I'm incorrect in that assumption. But there we go. There's the link for the classic. And if you want the playlist of the newer boys, there is the red ones. Boom. It's everything World Eaters. The reason I ask about what the limited item is, Chewie, is there is always an outside chance that I have that limited item. If it's Warhammer. If it's anything else, probably not. Oh, the Horus Heresy Battle Group box. No, that is one I don't have, unfortunately. I'll sell you it for $1 million. No. Actually, where have all my limited characters gone? Oh yeah, they're all under there. I thought you were going to say something like Inquisitor Carter Volnus, in which case I'd be like, I got you, bro. Or Primaris Champion. I have 2 of those. Just thinking I might give one away, actually. Take my money. I also thought about, because I've got just a pile of special edition characters and things that I would love to have the time to paint. They're kind of just here, and I sort of thought I could just raffle all of these and have like 10 prizes. So it's things like I've got a Primaris Champion, I've got things like Carter Volnus, I've got Azrak the Demolisher, whatever he was called, the Warhammer Plus miniature, all that sort of stuff. And it's like, I really want to do those, but I don't know if I'm ever going to have the time. But that's one thing I also have to do this year is part with some models that I'm definitely not going to do anything with. So things like as much as I love having this superhero team of all the Space Marine captains, I'd like to get rid of some of them so that I can redo them as videos. So like, I've got Caven Shrike, Phyros, Corsaro Khan, the yellow one, Torgaradon, Adrax Agatone, all of this kind of thing. They're all in here, and they've all been done, but I didn't film them at the time because I had a job then. So I'd like to do something with them and maybe replace them with tutorialized versions. I've got painting fear. Partner bought me a Leagues of Votan character for Christmas, and I don't know 100% how to paint it yet, so I don't want to learn by messing up the model. Now that's fair, Simeon. That is absolutely. You shouldn't do that if you're worried. Doing some other throwaway models, even if you just pick up like something like a paint set for those models. There's ones of like with Space Marines in it. They're really good for just you can get them plus paint for cheap. And you can test to your heart's desire on those. At the age of 48, I've been about 30 years absent from the hobby. Now the kids are older, I've got back into Games Workshop miniatures, and I'm really enjoying building and painting my Stormcast. Oh, Flashman, you're such a hero. I love it. Stormcasts are the best, aren't they? Look at all my Stormcasts. Look at them. Look at these beautiful boys. In fact, let's go on a journey, shall we? Let's take you over here. Let's take you into the. Let's take everybody into the cabinet. Here we go. Look at these lovely Stormcast boys. There's all my dragons. Back here is Karazai and Krondis. They're back there. Don't you worry about that. There's Aventis Firestrike and Indrasta and Ionis Cryptborn. This is what I'm talking about with all these Space Marines, right? There's all these in there. There's like 1,500 points of Space Walls that I could do with like shifting on, unless Alice wants them. There's the Leagues of Votan, whose out Hernkin Pioneers need finished. Here's the Middle Elf Sheriff, as you can see. There's a pile of Middle Earth Minas Tirith warriors that need doing, but everything in there has got videos. Down here, that's where the Celestial Vindicators are. So this is what I was talking about earlier with the Evocators and Sequitors and things. Down here is my Knights and also a Necrolith Bone Dragon and some Skeleton Warriors. And then over there in the dark, we have the Cities of Sigmar. Down there is some Primarchs. There's the Grand Alliance Destruction. There's the Tyranids. Then up there, there's some more. Yes, I know, James. And there's some Astra Militarum up there. Loads of stuff. Loads and loads of stuff. But I need to create space, guys, you know? Yeah, I mean, this is just one cabinet. On the other side of the room, there's a lot more. And then out in the shed, there's the 9,000 points of Blood Angels and the entirety of the Chaos Collection. Also, Titan. IKEA cabinet. Yeah, this is the Detolf range. What I need to do is I actually need to get rid of these Detolfs and replace them with something better. They do I think it's Beskar or something. Beskar. There's a cupboard that they make which you can put glass doors on it, which actually fits better in the space and has more shelves in it that I could put in there to put more miniatures out. So I probably need to figure out a way of getting that in and then getting rid of the cabinets on the same day. But that is for another time. That's for future Josh to figure out. I need to pay my taxes. That's something that present Josh needs to do. I need to do that this week. If you're listening, HMRC, don't worry, I haven't forgotten. There's a video showing the Chaos Collection. There is indeed. There is indeed. You can go and find it. Do you want me to go and find it for you now? I'll go and find it for you now. Warhipster Grand Army of Chaos. I'm pretty sure that will find it. Yes. Bosh. Go away. Share. Copy. There you go. That is the Grand Army of Chaos video. If you want to see the Blood Angels one as well, it's this one. Those are my... And I want to do one for the Forces of Order once I've finished off 3 Storm Hosts, a couple of bits for the Sylvaneth and some Cities of Sigmar. There's some stuff left to go. How much do you reckon you'd let go of a captain for? What, from this lot? From this set? Well, that was what my point was, is to do a... It's complicated though, isn't it? Because you might end up with one you don't want. But it would be to raffle them off. As in do the ones I'm not going to keep. So like Calgar, he can go because he needs a video. Fyros, all of these. Raffle them off. And then just be like, hey, you could win it for a £5 ticket. That for me always feels like that's the fairest way of doing it. There is an element of risk though that you might not get it. You see what I mean? Count Doom 1. I finally caught you live. I have to say your work is awesome. Your video on the Adeptus Mechanicus really helped me. Thank you. You're very welcome, Count Doom 1. I'm glad I could help. You could do categories. Yeah, I mean, the way to do it would be to run 9 simultaneous raffles, if you see what I mean. Or 10. Just run like 100 raffles and spend the day at the post office. Just got to create some room somehow. How is Alariel the Ever-Titan? Alariel the Ever-Titan, she is doing very well. I feed her 3 times a day and give her chin scratches. Thanks for your videos, they help me so much. I decided to join Patreon recently to support your incredible work. Cheers from France. Oh, that's very, very kind of you. Thank you for joining the Patreon. I really appreciate that. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you. Yeah, that's kind of part of it, Cameron, is I've got like... I have a huge box of Space Marines on sprue. I have enough Space Marines on sprue in this flat that I suspect everybody watching could probably have 1,000-point armies. I'm not even kidding. There's Venerable Dreadnoughts, there's Tactical Marines, there's Intercessors, there's Redemptive Dreadnoughts, there's a Repulsor, there's loads of stuff. I could raffle off a 2,000-point on plastic, on new on sprue army right now. Show it. No, it's all in plastic. There's... Where's the box? It's in a cupboard behind a number of boxes. How do you get so many? It's just from years of collecting it, but also just like a couple of friends of mine were just like, "Oh, I'm not doing this anymore. Can you just do you want the ones on sprue?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And I've bought so many with the intention of doing them and just never getting around to it. So it's things like there was a Blood Angels Battle Force thing that they released a couple of Christmases ago, which had a unit of Sanguinary Guard, a unit of Death Company, 10 Intercessors, a Baal Predator and a Terminator Captain, and the Jump Pack Captain. Jump Pack Chaplain in it. I bought 2 of those at the time because I was like, Blood Angels, sign me up, bro. And then I just haven't done anything with it. Same for like the there's a unit of infiltrators / incursors that I have that were part of the Prophecy of the Wolf box, which I just never did because all I wanted from that box was Ragnar. I'm pretty certain there's a 2,000 point Chaos Space Marines army new on sprue in here as well. Again, from box sets. Pretty certain. I know I've got at least 2 Forge Fiends. I have to head out. Thank you for hanging out tonight. Needed the company. Have a lovely night, everyone. Oh, thank you for hanging out, Simeon. Glad to be here. And glad to have you here on this, the first of many Me Time Mondays. I'm probably going to head out now as well. So I will probably next week maybe build the rest of these Vindictors. Or maybe I'll paint some of them. I'm not sure what I'll do next. I'll do whatever I want to do, because that is the point of this Monday afternoon stream. So, yes, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you'll join me for these again. Oh, that was a yawn that came out of nowhere. Oh, sorry. I'm in the middle of painting a Mumak of Harrod I got for Christmas as a challenge. Oh, I've got one of those to do as well, courtesy of Rich. Have a nice week and don't forget your taxes. No, I won't. We'll be back on Wednesday for Tale of Many Warhipsters. On Thursday there will be a video. I haven't decided if it's going to be how to paint Voldus or if it's going to be something old world adjacent yet. We will figure out how well Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday goes in order for Thursday to happen. Then there will be definitely videos on Saturday, and we'll be back on Monday for another one of these. But Tale of Many Warhipsters Season 2 Episode 6 is on Wednesday. Don't miss it because it's going to be a big one. The first one of 2024. And I think based on how successful Tale of Many Warhipsters Season 2 has been so far, I think Season 3 will follow very hot on the heels. It won't take 18 months to 20 to 2 years for the next season to happen. Maybe we'll do it from January onwards or something. Anyway, Tale of Many Warhipsters Season 2 on Wednesday. Don't miss it. It's going to be awesome. Yes, we will be back on Thursday for a painting video, streaming on Wednesday, painting video on Thursday, painting or some form of video on Saturday. I'll be here next Monday. When did you start today? 4:30 was when I started. It'll be around about then. 4:30, that type of thing. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. The music has ended, as I can hear in my headphones. So that is definitely the time to end. See you all very soon. Love you guys. Bye for now. Bye-zy bye. Bye for now.